So, what are these techniques you can use to finally start the work that you really should have started about 2 weeks ago? The first technique is to simply break down that huge task into tiny, really specific tasks, and then set a time limit to each of these micro tasks. Your first micro task can be write a list of micro tasks. Whatever you do, just don't procrastinate on that, otherwise you'll enter some weird paradox and go into another dimension or something. Even though this technique doesn't actually reduce your overall workload, psychologically it feels so much more achievable and in every single way easier to accomplish a series of very small tasks than one huge task. It's similar to when I want to eat a very large pizza. I just take it one slice at a time. Every time you finish one of these micro tasks, your brain will release a shot of dopamine and you'll feel accomplished, thus maintaining your morale and vastly increasing the likelihood that you'll move on to the next task instead of giving up altogether. This next trick sounds blatantly stupid, but it's ridiculously powerful. Simply start the work. Just force yourself to begin. But here's the trick. Tell yourself you're only going to work for 5 minutes, and then you can continue whatever useless procrastination you were in the middle of 5 minutes ago. Just 5 minutes, that's all. In every study where this technique was attempted with test participants, almost every person voluntarily continued working well past 5 minutes, and many simply continued working on the task for several hours, even though they had told themselves that 5 minutes was all they had to do. Psychologically, once you begin working on a task, even if it's really difficult, a natural urge to want to keep at it kicks in, and it actually becomes harder to stop than to carry on. 99% of the difficulty of overcoming procrastination is actually starting the work. Hence the old blank page writer's block dilemma. But because the hardest part is making a start, you may have to force yourself to do so. In Homer's Odyssey, it tells of a fable involving the Greek king Ulysses. Ulysses and his crew were aboard a ship whilst passing an island full of sirens. You know, those many islands full of naked devil women that you see absolutely everywhere. The sirens were singing out in angelic voices and calling out to Ulysses to join them on their sexy rocky outcrop. Ulysses knew that he could not resist the temptation of the sirens, so he ordered his crew to forcibly tie him to a mast on the ship and block his ears until the seductive sirens were long out of sight. So, what's the lesson here? When you are faced with a huge amount of work and a blank page, or just an island full of naked women, you must be really forceful with yourself and just make a damn start. Thanks for watching.